UNAIDS Executive Director Winnie Byanyima is demanding that President Yoweri Museveni frees all political prisoners in Uganda, including her husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and establish a neutrally mediated national dialogue to pave way for what she calls a transition from Museveni's personal rule to a democratic transition. In an exclusive interview with NTV's Duncan Haemba in Johannesburg, South Africa, Byanyima said it is a shame that the Ugandan head of state has made the price of challenging him in a democratic election so high, making him a dictator, a move that is ironical given that it is what they fought hard to end when he sought power 40 years ago.
It is over 1 year since the unexpected abduction in Nairobi of Uganda's opposition figure Dr. Kizza Besigye and his aide Obeid Lutale, both who remain in detention. When I bumped into Besigye's wife Winnie Byanyima on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Johannesburg, I sought to know the status of the veteran Ugandan politician who has been in custody since November 2024.
He is physically well. Mentally, I couldn't say, because you can't read somebody's mental state just from their face. I hope he's holding out well, because it's so much humiliation, frustration, and persecution.
She says the continued incarceration is weighing them down.
It's been tough on us as a family, and I take it also that it is part of the pain of so many other Ugandans. There are many other political prisoners I find there at the prison when I go to see him, who haven't had their cases even heard for 15 years, 10 years, 6 years. So we are one of many affected families affected by the reversals in democracy in Uganda.
Winnie Byanyima says Uganda urgently needs a political solution to the prevailing political predicaments.
Well, we have fallen from being a country that we rescued from dictatorship, and we've gone full circle back to dictatorship. 40 years of personal rule by President Museveni have weakened all institutions, the judiciary, the parliament, the security agencies. Everything is at all institutions just bow to his will, and he acts outside of the law. He acts as a dictator. That is where Uganda is now.
With regard to meeting President Museveni, she says,
but I'm not going to seek an appointment privately to see him about my husband, because that is taking a public issue into a private space, and that would probably not have the right outcome. They are public issues. They disagree publicly. They ought to be debating them publicly. So mine is a call to President Museveni through the media openly: free all political prisoners, including Dr. Kizza Besigye, and establish a national dialogue that's neutrally mediated to pave the way for a transition from your personal rule to a democratic dispensation.
Kenya has been accused and blamed for the abduction of Dr. Kizza Besigye, who had landed in the country for Martha Karua's book launch as the invited chief guest on 16th November 2024. We sought to know if she has reached out to the Kenyan government to intervene.
I have full evidence that he was abducted by Ugandan security agencies. I do not know whether they were in collusion with the Kenyan security agencies. That's not for me to explore. What I know is that his abductors were Ugandan security officers who took him over the border, dumped him in a military jail. So I'm dealing with that. I really do not see any need on my part to take on or to go to inquire any further with the Kenyan government.
It is 1 year since his abduction in Nairobi, and his family says they will continue pushing and pushing
until Kizza Besigye is finally set free. Duncan Haimba for NTV in Johannesburg, South Africa.